Hi friends, my name is Chaitanya Patke and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to analyze the chaotic first day of play. Actually, 14 wickets fell, which is quite astonishing for a first day wicket. I would not go into the pitch just now, but I would like to say that Australia is firmly in the driver's seat, leads by 47 runs. India won the toss and actually batted first. An abject surrender and a horror display of batsmanship by our batsman, and no application at all. Starting with the first wicket of Rohit Sharma, he just went down the track to smash Kuhneman over deep mid wicket. I don't think there was any need for that shot to be played at that juncture. He scored 12 of 23 deliveries, which included 3 boundaries. It is also very essential to remember that Rohit Sharma would have been out twice in the first over itself. On the first ball of the morning, it was a close LBW appeal. Actually, Mitchell Stark and Alex Carey thought that it was caught behind, but actually on the replays it showed that it was a clear LBW, which Australia didn't review. Steve Smith also shouted expletives at himself for not taking it. The second one was actually an outside edge, but it was very thin. So it couldn't be picked up by the Australians. So actually Rohit Sharma had a charmed dive. He had to make the most of it, but unfortunately played that silly shot and got out for 12. Gill actually scored 21 of 18 deliveries, strike rate of more than 100, which also included 3 boundaries. He actually looked pretty good, but the delivery of Kuhneman was world class. It actually tempted Gill to play the drive, which he couldn't. Outside edge, and Smith took the catch. Pujara got a peach of a delivery. Actually, nothing can be done at that sort of a delivery. 1 of 4 deliveries. He was LBW by Nathan Lyon. The ball kept very low, and actually, it was reminiscent of a third session 4th day pitch or first session 5th day pitch. The amount of turn that was astonishing. Virat Kohli actually looked good for his 22 of 52, 2 boundaries included, and he was trapped LBW by Todd Murphy. Third time in this series, Murphy has made Virat a bunny, I would say. Ravindra Jadeja scored 4 of 9 deliveries. Actually, there was a close LBW shot which was given not out by umpire Joel Wilson. After that, he just perished playing a silly shot as well, just like Rohit Sharma at short cover. Lyon got him. Kuhneman took a brilliant catch at cover. It was Kuhneman's day. Then Shreyas Iyer chopped it on a very stupid shot to play at that moment. I would say it is also understandable why Shreyas Iyer played that shot, but not given the crucial stage, because it is essential to counter attack on a spinning track. But we have to keep in mind that 4 wickets have already fell, so there is no need to play such shot at this stage. After you are set or you are 10 to 15 runs, then we can play that shot. But a pathetic shot from Iyer as well. Shrikar Bharat actually swept nicely, but he also didn't look home. As it is evident from this kind of pitch, no batsman actually looks at home, whether he's on 17 or whether he's on 80. He scored 17 of 30 deliveries, which included a boundary and a 6 as well. He was once again caught plumb in front by Nathan Lyon. Akshar Patel not out 12 of 33 deliveries. He tried to hang in there, but it was too late. R. Ashwin also disappointed with the bat, 3 of 12. Once again, Kuhneman got him with a magnificent delivery, just short of length, and Ashwin couldn't do anything. But edged the ball straight to Alex Carey. Carey also did a fine job behind the wickets. We always forget the contribution of wicketkeeper, especially if you are coming from Sena country. This is very difficult to adjust to the turn and bounce. Everybody will talk about Kuhneman and Lyon, understandably so, but it is also essential to mention Alex Carey's great glove work behind the stumps. Umesh Yadav scored 17 of 13 deliveries. My, what a cameo that was. A couple of sixes with a boundary. Eventually, Kuhneman got him. But I read a stat that Umesh Yadav has now more sixes than Ravi Shastri, Yuvraj Singh, and Virat Kohli in his test career. So let that sink in. What a fact. And Siraj was comically run out in the head by Travis Head. Bowling figures of Australia: Stark 5 overs, 21 runs, no wicket. But actually, Mitchell Stark set the tone for Australia's dominance with the ball in his very first over. As I had mentioned at the start of my video, he was very unfortunate at not getting Rohit Sharma. Cameron Green scored just bowled 2 overs, which were pretty disappointed. He didn't find his length at all. 2 overs, 14 runs. Murphy got the important wicket of Virat Kohli. 6 overs, 1 maiden, 23 runs, no wickets. Kuhneman, it was Kuhneman's day, and it is very essential to point out to the Indian fans that in Sheffield Shield cricket, Kuhneman isn't a regular with his home state Queensland as well. So look how the fortunes turn. Agar actually controversially got set back in the second test, whatever might be the reasons, and Kuhneman was a replacement in place of Agar, and he played the most of this opportunity, just his second test match, and he will remember this performance for the rest of his life. 9 overs, 2 maidens, 16 runs, 5 wickets, and Nathan Lyon chipping in as usual. 11 overs, 2 maidens, 35 for 3. He actually, Nathan Lyon went past the late great Shane Warne with most wicket for an Australian spinner, any leg spinner or off spinner in the subcontinent. So that is quite an achievement for Lyon. Australia actually are in the driver's seat. Travis Head tried to enforce just like Delhi, but unfortunately couldn't kick on. 9 of 6 deliveries, caught plumb in front by Ravindra Jadeja. Actually, umpire Joel Wilson gave that not out, but it was the review which prompted the dismissal. Khwaja played one of the best innings of his career, 60 of 147 deliveries. Unfortunate that he was out of a lofted sweep towards deep square leg towards the final overs of the day, but he showed great application, played the ball on its merit, and actually made great use of the crease. Whenever he was on the back foot, he was assured on the front foot as well, and he wasn't caught in two minds, as was the case with most Australian batsmen in the second innings in Delhi. So they resorted to sweep shot, and the consequences were disastrous. So a great inning by Usman Khwaja, and actually there is an argument that after Matthew Hayden, Usman Khwaja is the most successful Australian opener to visit Indian shores. Perfect technique, and he has actually had his up and downs since the last 3 or 4 years, but after the twin hundreds in the fourth test in the last year's Ashes, his career seems to be finally towards the latter stage. Towards the end, now he is 37 years old. We have to remember that it's on the right track. He deserves it. He works very hard, and unfortunately, due to some circumstances or injury or some controversy, he was not in the Australian lineup. But now George Bailey and we have need to give credit to chief selector George Bailey and the rest of the staff for showing faith in him, and he's rewarded that faith. Marnus Labuschagne scored 31 of 91 deliveries with a solitary boundary. Once again, Jaddu got him, but actually he was out for one itself, but that was a no ball, which actually in the end costed India 30 runs. Labuschagne could have been out, clean bowled for one, but Jaddu unfortunately bowled that no ball. Steve Smith looked very good for 26 for a moment at the crease. He just was putting away the loose deliveries, and he was picking up the singles as well, but a ripper from Ravindra Jadeja right at the close of play. The ball pitched good length and just took the outside half of the bat, and Shrikar Bharat took a magnificent catch. So Smith succumbed. Peter Handscomb is not out on 7 of 36. He's looking actually assured, and Cameron Green is not out on 6 of 10 deliveries. Ash in 16 overs unfortunately couldn't get a wicket today, but bowled pretty well. 16 overs, 2 maidens, 40 for none. Jaddu in 24 overs, 6 maidens, 63 for 4. All the 4 wickets were taken by Jadeja. Akshar Patel in 9 overs gave away 29 runs. He struggled a little bit to find his length. Umesh Yadav just a spell of 2 overs, 4 runs, and Mohammad Siraj also bowled decently. 3 overs, 7 runs, no wicket. So Australia are firmly in the driver's seat, but I do believe that if tomorrow India get a couple of wickets early on, then the session and the match could turn on its head. A lead of 120 plus could be very detrimental to India's prospects. So it is very essential that India wrap up Australia before they take a lead of 120 runs, in my humble opinion. On commentary, Mr. Gavaskar said that even 70 is too many, but I think Indian batsmen will rectify their mistakes tomorrow in the second innings and will put up good application and good resistance as compared to the first innings. And I would also like to point out that due to Ravindra Jadeja's over-excitement, now many fans will find it very difficult to hear and digest what I am going to say, that why am I criticizing him despite the fact that all 4 wickets were picked up by Jadeja himself. 3 reviews were lost due to Jadeja and his over-excitement, and some credit of that blunder needs to be given to KS Bharat as well. The responsibility of wicketkeeper on a turning track, especially in Asia and India, becomes very essential, and he was actually the first time he wasn't convinced, but Ravindra Jadeja ran the full length of the pitch in case of Khwaja's dismissal, and convinced Shrikar Bharat sorry for that, and skipper Rohit Sharma to go for the review. But those two were after that the two reviews were clearly visible on the naked eye that they were going down the leg side and they were not out. Still Rohit Sharma gave in to Ravindra Jadeja's argument. I don't know why. So we have to be very critical in using our reviews, which are very crucial on that sort of a track. If we run out of reviews at the wrong time, we are going to be at the end of the receiving stick. So 30 runs were gone due to Jadeja's no ball as well, and 3 reviews are gone as well. Australia have their 3 reviews intact in the second innings. We have none. So that is a bitter lesson we have to learn going forward, because it can cost us the match if the situation is even Steven. So all to play for on the second day, and it is going to be the moving day of the test match. I don't see the test match going the full 5 days, as I said in my preview, because I didn't know that the pitch is going to turn this much. But it is the challenge that we have to cope, and that is the challenge in India. And I would like to say, and I would like to point out the fact to the Australian commentators, now that they will say that Australian batsmen had shown great application as compared to Indian batsmen, now they will not blame the pitch. Now there will be no demons in the pitch, as Australia has the upper hand, even though by 47 runs. But 47 runs is a monumental lead at the moment. So I think that their hypocrisy and double standards will be exposed now after the test match if Australia wins it. But I still believe that India has much quality in its rank to mount a comeback. So, how did you like my analysis of the first day's play? Please tell in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for further notifications. We'll meet in the next video. Till then, everyone, bye. And humbly requesting to you all, please subscribe and share this video with your friends as much as possible. It helps a lot and it means a lot. Thank you.